Hey guys, welcome back to another video here with the Destroyers. Today we've got a tier maker. It's gonna be an NBA tier list maker. So we're gonna be ranking all 30 of the NBA teams, putting them in the S, A, B, C, and D classes. D obviously being the worst, S being the best. So first off, we're going to start with the Philadelphia 76ers. You got any opinions about where they should be?
I think they should be low. They've had very good players in the last few years. They've been, I'd say, decently consistent and have made the playoffs. So
Yeah,
I'd say put them at 18.
yeah. They definitely have good history. So I'd put them in A. Next on, we have the Washington Wizards. They have won a single NBA championship against the Seattle Supersonics in 1978. So where do you think we should put them?
I don't know. The Wizards are interesting. I put them at the C.
I'd probably put them at the C tier as well. Nothing special about them. The Atlanta Hawks.
They've had a few legends as well.
That is true.
But haven't been too great over the last few years.
Well, don't they have Nate McMillan as their coach? I mean, they don't have any championships. They did get a division title last year in 2015. I'd probably, well, I'd give them a D. Simply because they haven't won any conference championships ever.
Or anything.
Yeah, they've won 12 division titles, but that does not justify not winning a single conference title in their history. Next up, we have the Cleveland Cavaliers. I say we put them in C. They were only good because of LeBron.
Actually, you know what, you're right.
Yeah, I think they're C tier. They won a championship 2016. They did win 5 conference titles, but I think they've got to be a C tier team. Next
just
up,
because they don't have that much history.
They what?
Just because they don't have that much history.
Yeah. Next up, we have the Detroit Pistons. They obviously have a hell ton of history. They've been around forever. In my opinion, where do you want to put Detroit Pistons?
I'd give them B, maybe. Great, and that was assuming they had players that can say it.
In my opinion, I think we've got to put them in B tier. They do have 3 championships, but at the same time, they've been around. They've been in Detroit since 1957.
Yeah,
I think they're a B tier franchise for sure. Indiana Pacers. I think they're a D tier team. They've never won a championship.
Yeah.
Yeah, no championships for the Indiana Pacers.
And they just can't seem like
a single conference title. Moving on to the Milwaukee Bucks. Where do you think they should go?
I think they should definitely go A-tier team. I mean, they've had lots of great players in history. And I've won a few NBA finals with them.
That is true.
Yeah,
they did win the championship last year.
And they've been overall very consistent.
Yes.
In the last few years.
17 division titles as well.
Yeah, that's insane.
I think they're definitely a B tier franchise.
No, A tier.
Oh crap, yeah, A tier. How about it? Moving on to the Toronto Raptors.
recently won an NBA final. Never won one before that.
They were in the NBA Finals in 2019. They've won 7 division titles. They haven't been around for too long, only just existing in 1995.
I think a C tier for now. I think.
For now,
Yeah.
they should definitely be a C tier. Alright, next up we've got the Mavs. Where should they be put?
The Mavs, I mean, they're very good this year.
They've existed since 1980. They got the championship in 2011. 2 conference titles, 4 division titles. Where do you think they should go?
I'd say, again, I'd say C tier for me.
Probably C tier as well. Moving on to the Denver Nuggets, straight up in D tier. They've never won
Why?
a single conference title.
Or not even a championship?
Yeah, not even a single. They've never even been in the finals.
Yeah.
And they've existed since 1967.
Damn.
So definitely should be a D tier team. Same goes for the Memphis Grizzlies. Were originally in Vancouver, but then relocated to Memphis in 2001. For the most part, since they've relocated to Memphis, they've done almost nothing. They've only won a single division title, which was this year actually. No conference titles, no championships. They've got to be a D tier franchise. Probably the worst franchise in NBA history.
Yeah.
Next up, we have the Minnesota Timberwolves. These guys have also not been very good at all throughout their history,
Yeah.
having only won a single division title in 2004, no conference titles, which means no championships. Just like Memphis, they're going to be a D tier team. The San Antonio Spurs, I think they've got to be an S. I mean, 5 championships?
Yeah, I agree. It's an S tier team. Currently not great, but overall, great team in history.
I mean, they've had Greg Popovich going on to the Utah Jazz. They had that very good team in the 90s featuring the likes of John Stockton, Karl Malone. They made the finals twice in 97 and 98, losing both times to the Bulls. Overall,
Yeah.
so they have no championships, 2 conference titles, 11 division titles. I would probably put them at a C.
I agree with you.
Los Angeles Clippers, they get a D.
Yeah, I agree
Haven't won
with
any
that.
conference titles. Only 2 division titles coming in back-to-back years, 2013, 2014. Moving on to the Phoenix Suns.
They've been
These
good.
guys, they're probably the best franchise that haven't won a championship.
Yeah.
3 conference titles, very unlucky to not win a single NBA Finals. They lost to the finals against the Bucks in 2021.
Yeah.
So they have 3 conference titles, 8 division titles. I'd say put them in C as well. Just
I give
because
them
they
B.
don't- A B?
Yeah.
I don't know. Not having any championships is kind of a turn off.
Yeah, but like,
How about we put him first place C?
they've been to the final. They've been to the final, and they've had a great form recently.
That is true.
I'd say put them in B tier.
Alright, B. Next up, we have the Portland Trail Blazers. For most of their history, they've had good teams. 6 division titles, 3 conference titles, and a championship coming in 1977.
I'd say it would B tier.
I'll give
Okay.
them a B tier as well. They've been a very consistent franchise. Now we're moving on to Sacramento Kings, who have had,
That's a D tier. My
yeah, they
God.
get D tier straight away. Haven't had any championships. They've only won 3 division titles.
And they haven't been.
They've relocated countless amount of times from Cincinnati to Kansas City to Sacramento. Almost relocated to Anaheim in 2011. To Virginia Beach as well. Almost to Seattle in 2013. I mean, that franchise it's just been a mess for most of its history. They just cannot stick to a single city. Moving on to the New York Knicks. I think we've got to put them B or A. Which do you think? I think
I'd
we've got to
give-
be an A tier team. Do you think we should put them in A tier? I think we should put them in A tier just because of the amount of history they've had. 2 championships, 4 conference titles, 8 division titles. NBA headquarters are also in New York. Moving on to the New Orleans Pelicans. Now, these guys have not been good at all throughout the course of their history. Used to be the Charlotte Hornets, then relocated to New Orleans, and they've only ever won a single division title, no conference titles, no championships. They've got to be in a D tier for that. The Charlotte Hornets, as I said just now, New Orleans Pelicans were a relocated team from Charlotte, but Charlotte got all their history back. Ever since the new Charlotte Hornets since 2004.
Zauwe fruik ni maya niftavanting nikunting nari Tumpaya katos ake akatos ekon talana werutasi Zauwe fruik ni maya niftavanting nikunting nari Tumpaya katos ake akatos ekon talana werutasi Zauwe fruik ni maya niftavanting nikunting nari Tumpaya katos ake akatos ekon talana
I'd say we put them in.
I think we should put them in A as well. They're a relatively new franchise existing since 1980s. They've been very good.
I found a light inside me. I'm gonna let it glow. Keep shining bright beside me. Follow where I go. So when the thunder comes and the storm becomes the night, I'll guide you through the light and stay close by my side. Zauwe fruik ni maya niftavanting nikunting nari Tumpaya katos ake akatos ekon talana werutasi Zauwe
I mean,
fruik
no,
ni maya niftavanting nikunting nari Tumpaya katos ake akatos ekon
Rather than
talana
not
werutasi
having really
Yeah, but I mean,
it's
not just like that.
I mean, winning 6 championships, they were the team. Moving on to
What? Would you say nothing?
inside me. I wanna let it glow. Keep shining bright beside me. Follow
Do they have any championships?
so when the thunder comes and
I'd say it's a C tier team. C tier team.
through the light and stay close by my side.
Now we move on to the Oklahoma City Thunder, and these guys get an undisputed D.
Past the show.
Undisputed.
Honestly, one of the most.
So
They
don't
relocated
Almost.
from Seattle
where
in
I don't
disgraceful
belong.
fashion in 2008.
I can't go back.
They brought
Yeah.
along with them a young core of players that included newly drafted Russell Westbrook, Kevin Durant coming off a rookie year. Serge Ibaka had also just been drafted along with Russell Westbrook. The Seattle Supersonics had a rich history in Seattle existing from 1967 2008. Won a championship in 79, 3 conference titles, 6 division titles, and to see it all go, a small market like Oklahoma City is just very disappointing. During their time in Oklahoma City, they have won a single conference title in 2012, no championships, they've won a few division titles, but just for the fact of what they did to Seattle and the fact that Seattle still do not have a team, they get bottom of the D tier, worst team in the NBA in my opinion. Next up we have the Golden State Warriors. I think for what they did in the 2010s, they've got to be an S tier team.
Yeah,
I'm
100%.
pretty sure they're the most expensive franchise in the NBA right now, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, they've had this amazing core of players: Draymond Green, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson. Throughout their history, they have won 7 championships, 3 of them coming in the 2010s. Just an unbelievable franchise. Next up, we have the Boston Celtics. There's absolutely no question about where these guys should be placed.
It's a S tier team for sure.
Definitely the best team of all time in the NBA.
Same with the Lakers.
Yeah, same with the
Honestly.
Lakers, who are actually up next. They're an S tier team as well.
And the Orlando Magic.
Yeah,
Got
they're
2
the last
conference
team.
titles.
I think they're a D tier team. Haven't really done much with their history.
2 conference titles, 6 division titles. Most recent one being in 2019. Overall, I'd give it D or C tier.
Yeah, I'd give Orlando a D tier. They have existed since 1989 when they were brought in along with the Minnesota Timberwolves. They haven't done much at all though, unfortunately. So yeah guys, this is our final NBA tier list ranking. Let us know what you guys think in the comments, and we will see you all in the next one.
We'll meet again.